Hi everyone, it's Bree. Thanks for watching. Today we're going to be talking about the 5 clairs. Some of you may already be like, oh, I thought there were only 4 clairs. What do you mean? But there are actually 5 and we're going to talk about those today. What does the word clair even mean? So the word clair, it actually means clear, okay? And you'll kind of get to understand in this video that just means like a clear channeled vision in different ways. So that's just what the word clair means. What actually are the clairs? What do they actually mean? So they're actually our sixth senses basically, and they are used for receiving intuitive messages, okay? They're psychic senses and psychic abilities is exactly what they are. Clairs really help us to be more intuitively connected, psychically, intuitively connected. Whether this be just on one-on-one, if you're doing readings with someone, intuitive or tarot, or whether this just be as a collective consciousness, being collectively, consciously aware and connected intuitively. The clairs do start to kind of unfold and come and show their gifts to you, usually during like spiritual awakenings, okay? When you're really learning about your gifts and honing in on them. They can come unexpectedly and you can be like, oh, as we go through this video, oh, I experienced that. That must be what this is. Let me hone in on this a little bit more. So it's a part of awakening the third eye. It's a deeper spiritual connection. The very first clair that we're going to talk about is clairaudience. Okay, clairaudience is hearing voices. This can sound like someone else talking in your mind. You can hear words, phrases, sounds. It's the clairaudience part of it, audient being the key here, is just hearing and listening. In tarot or intuitive readings, it's usually something that's very clear, like 5 months from now, or just something that's very clear that just makes sense to what you're talking about in that moment. For example, I was doing a reading earlier for a lady here at the store, and her first question was about her life purpose and where she's supposed to be going. She was a beautiful 78-year-old woman who was just a beautiful soul, but that's beside the point. This woman, her immediate question was life path questions. And the thing I kept hearing over and over in my head is shaman, shaman, shaman. I'm gonna find out they made a lot of sense, but that's the clairaudience that I'm talking about, something that's just very relevant and clear in that moment. The next clair we're gonna talk about is clairvoyance. I'm putting my glasses on to be cheesy because clairvoyance is about seeing images, okay? This is about these can arrive as actual images in your head, or like scenes that are in your mind. Some people close their eyes to see these things. Some people can just see it like in their mind, if that makes sense to you. This can be a lot of times a metaphor. Clairvoyance in these seeing images, it can be a metaphor for things that people are experiencing. So for example, if I'm here doing a reading and I might see a person carrying, like the tarot card, the Ten of Wands, I could see that card in my head, and it's this person carrying this big bundle of burden, really, but just this big bundle of wands, of sticks, carrying it on their back. So it's like carrying a burden. So if you see things like that in your head, you can intuitively feel, okay, this image is telling me that this person is carrying a heavy load in different areas, carrying a burden. So it can be very metaphoric. It does not have to be metaphoric, however. A lot of times in my readings, you have, like if I do fertility readings and I do personality, gender and such, I can a lot of times tap into my clairvoyance side, and I can see images, like quick flashes of what the child will look like, its eye color, its hair color. I can see certain age groups between like 3 and 5. So it can also be specific. It doesn't have to be metaphoric either. The next one we're going to talk about is one that is pretty common, and it is called clairsentience, okay? And this is about recognizing what you're feeling, okay? So for example, you may be doing a reading or just talking to someone and you get chills all over your entire body. That's probably key that this is an important conversation or important person, something that you need to pay attention to. Noticing the feelings. If you're talking to someone and you're feeling this just like tight, weird feeling in your stomach or your chest, that can, what is that a sign for you? Recognize the feelings of what you're getting from other people's energy, okay? Another example of clairsentience for me is whenever I'm talking to people about opening chakras and about communication, rather, whenever I'm telling people about needing to open their throat chakra, because this is about communication, my throat gets tight and achy and I can barely swallow sometimes. So I know that via clairsentience, this is important. This is something that I or someone else needs to pay attention to. So overall, clairsentience is just recognizing the feelings and the energies that you're feeling and understanding what they're for. The fourth sense that we are going to talk about is claircognizance, okay? This one can twist your tongue if you're not careful, but this is about just knowing. This is a clair of knowing without knowing why or how you know. So those are the times where you shock people and they're like, you didn't know anything about my life. How do you know that? That's crazy. I haven't told you this. How would you know? Like, do you have a camera in my house type thing? Things that there's no, real reason of why you should know or why you do know. It's just knowing. The final clair that we're going to talk about is number 5, clairempathy, okay? And that's exactly what it sounds like, being an empath, okay? This is probably one of the first clairs that really come in for a lot of people, or really that have always just been there that maybe you didn't even recognize. So this is about feeling others' emotion. You can sit in front of someone or think about someone and you can feel their pain or feel their trauma, and you may not even know where it's coming from. You can just feel, because you are an empathetic, we all are, you can feel what they have gone through or what they're going through. You can actually take on their emotions. If clairempathy is something that you are struggling with, as if, is it kind of taking over sometimes? Is it hard to decipher your feelings from someone else's, going into crowds, feeling just all of this energy, maybe anxiety, okay, that's a big key that can come from clairempathy if you don't know how to properly protect yourself with all of these clairs. If you are being affected in that way, you should definitely take a look at my video, Empathy and How to Tame It. In that video, I just give a lot of really good tips of learning how to control the empathetic side of you so that you are not overwhelmed and anxious all the time. Thank you guys so much for watching. Comment below, tell me which of these clairs you feel that you may have, or that you feel are coming to you, or that you even need help with. So let me know what's going on. Thank you again.